And it's the Voices of the Voiceless podcast, episode 65, After Dark, with John, that's me, and Brad, he's over there. And we are in the midst of a transitional period. What I mean by that is all of the lovely boys and girls lining up to get Kevin Owens' autograph and getting dick slapped right in the chin. Oh, what a time it is to be alive as a wrestling fan, I must say.
Yeah, we've got all these great flippity doos. We've got Kevin Owens, and it's a great time for the business.
It is, and you know what? What makes it even better? And I gotta find this headline, and it's Brad's favorite tag team of all time, and you know who I'm talking about. Do you want to say it? I mean, we all know your favorite tag team.
Yeah, the Young Cucks. I know that's
yeah. It so turns out that the Young Bucks, the Bucks of Young, as one Matt Hardy likes to call them, the Young Bucks are driven by desire to be the best by doing it their way. And I not only saw that, but another headline saying that they are the best of this generation.
So, in other words, you were reading a comedy article, it sounds like.
No, it was from ESPN. What do you mean? They cover it.
No, their journalism is a joke, so therefore it is a comedy article.
Well, here's the thing. What are you gonna do whenever Young Buck Mania runs wild? Actually, no. Whenever Young Buck Mania flips wild on you, brother.
Oh, I don't know. Probably kick out of the 20th super kick and then get up and hit my finisher and pin him.
What do you mean the super kick? You get knocked out 1, 2, 3, but the 30th one though, because 1 through 29 don't do the trick. 1 through 29 are only just the beginning of the super kick party because you have to be inside the party before you can actually get pinned. That's how I perceived it. I never thought that a super kick would turn into a body slam, where it would virtually mean nothing. But alas, that's 2016 in a nutshell.
Yeah, that's right. Nobody's watching. Nobody's showing up to these live events. But by God, we've got acrobatics like you can watch in a fucking Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey circus show. So woohoo! That's great for everybody.
But see, there's two odds. There's two ends. There's the flippity doos like the Will Ospreys and the Zack Sabre Jr. Well, no, I love Zack Sabre Jr. Who am I thinking of? Evan Bourne, Matt Sydal, and Kalisto. 205 Live for the most part is that kind of genre, the Young Bucks, and then you have guys like Chris Hero, Mr. Dad Bod, who a lot of fans think is the future of pro wrestling. No, he is the future of Target t-shirt ads, and not in the fun way. Would you like to discuss the elephant in the room that was your Twitter feud for the week?
Which one? We've had a couple, but yeah, we can discuss Chris Hero first.
Chris Hero, yes.
Yeah.
Please do, before we get into Raw, SmackDown, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so I just, I had heard that he was returning to WWE. And, it's an interesting move, right? Because he's in terrible shape. And, he clearly puts no effort into a key piece of the job. Now, I've heard people say, oh, not everybody needs to have, a physique like Dolph Ziggler or Braun Strowman or whomever you want to come up with. There have always been King Kong Bundys and Bam Bam Bigelows and Yokozunas. Believe me, he's none of those guys. This guy is skinny fat with noodle arms and childbearing hips, okay? He's no Bam Bam Bigelow, okay? So don't even try and make that comparison. He doesn't need to be a bodybuilder. Nobody thinks that I'm aware of. But he does need to look like he's in fucking shape. Jesus Christ. Have a little self-respect. Look like you're in somewhat workable shape for TV. they repeatedly asked him to lose weight when he was in WWE the first time in NXT, quote unquote, developmental, which is an oxymoron.
FCWCW.
And, you know, I just don't understand. Nothing's changed. He's still fat. He hasn't made any effort.
But
he didn't do what they asked. And people can say, "Oh, that has nothing to do." Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, it has nothing to do with it, right? Sure. Okay, keep telling yourself that because that's what he told you because he's working you. Okay, because you're too fucking stupid to realize these wrestlers work fans.
Yeah, they sit in the back and
play them like violins.
Yep.
The fans who are too stupid to realize it. Oh no, he didn't say. He said, I got released for this reason, not that. Oh, okay. Keep telling yourself that, right? It was an issue. It's still going to be an issue when he returns. So I don't understand. I had a fan say, "Oh, he's got a thyroid condition." Oh, well, maybe he should get that fucking fixed if that's what it is. Or he should just stop eating so much. I don't know. All I'm saying is the issue remains. The issue remains. So I don't know how the situation turns out to be a success. Now, I say that. I don't dislike him. I think his in-ring work is really, really good. It is. But fake fighting in 2016 is not going to be enough. You have to stand out. There is a lot of good fake fighters. Okay? And you have to have a look, a character, something that stands out. And having to wear a jersey like Kevin Owens because you're so fat, that's not standing out. That looks terrible. It doesn't draw. It doesn't sell. So I hope that's pretty clear.
I think that's clear enough. And it's really funny because you know how when CM Punk pitched the idea of the Shield anyway, he pitched Rollins, Ambrose, and Chris Hero, which in NXT he was Cassius Ohno. I bet you any money that if Hero was in very good shape, who would have knew if he would have got picked or not? What if it wasn't Roman Reigns? What if it was, well, he was Leaki in FCW. What if it was Chris Hero that was picked for the stable? And not, because you look at a guy and people, they didn't argue with me, with you on Twitter. I'm gonna, and Ziggler was a great comparison. So I'm going to put Dolph Ziggler. You know what? Let's even do this better. I'm going to put Cesaro and Chris Hero side by side. Former tag team partners, right? The world's greatest tag team, I think was their name, or something like that. The two of them side by side. I am an investor looking to put money into the stock of the company to hopefully sell T-shirts, generate revenue, etc. Are you going to pick a guy like Chris Hero, fat dad bod? He has a good face, nice beard, nice hair, but that's it. Or Cesaro, great physique, power lifter. He's athletic. He's swift. He has a good smile. He could sell things. I don't want Chris Hero in my commercials. I want Cesaro in my commercials. I want Cesaro on magazine covers. I want Cesaro on 7-Eleven cups because at least Cesaro wouldn't take up the whole cup, right? It's just that sort of thing. And so when everyone's like, Chris Hero was so good. Yeah, he's great, but he's not marketable. He would never make money for the company, period. At least Daniel Bryan and CM Punk had a look, or Bray Wyatt gets away with it because of his character.
Absolutely.
But Bray Wyatt's still in a decent shape.
Also, right, he's also built. Yeah, he's fat, but he's also built and has a character, and he stands out. I mean, you have to have some of those elements besides just being a in-ring fake fighter. And I hope he does well and has all the success. I'm pulling for him. I'm just saying, I'm giving an honest assessment. I'm saying, what's changed about this? Nothing.
He's fatter.
He's still the same great in-ring worker, except he's maybe fatter. Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely fatter. He's the fattest he's ever been. So I don't know how this... I can't foresee them not saying you've got to lose weight when he returns. I don't know.
Why would they want him? Why would they want him again if they know that he won't already?
He's about to be 37. and he's going to be an NXT developmental. And that's a whole nother topic, but it just seems like a waste to me. If you're good, I would say this: if you are going to sign the guy, just put him on the main roster. I mean, just give him a shot. It's now or never.
Well, like, how old's Nakamura? 35?
Yeah, he's 36. I think 36.
Jeez.
I mean, that's a whole different issue, but we've got a big problem in NXT developmental, as they call it, with a lot of guys in their mid to late 30s in that prime money-making phase of wrestling who are working in front of 200 fans.
But they love that. They love that. Like, the Young Bucks love that.
Well, the Young Bucks are too scared to go to WWE. That's their problem.
Well, they just re-signed Ring of Honor.
Well, of course they did, because they know they're going to go to WWE and they're going to be a mid-card comedy tag team act, as they should be. And they're not going to be the superstar prima donnas they believe they are. And, so whatever works out for them, that's fine. But, they're not the big leagues that they think they are. The niche smart market loves them, and they do really well with that, and that's great. But they are scared to go to the big leagues. That's the fact.
I think the indies work well with certain people, like Cody Rhodes. And I say him because, well, first of all, he should have been a main eventer in WWE. He had the look, he had the charisma, he had everything. But disregarding that, you had a guy that could do it all. But now he's traveling from town to town, doing his own dates, making pretty good money, working big shows. And I think he's succeeding very, very well. So the indies work for some people, but not for all people. And it's rare for people to be able to do both well.
Yeah, and in particular, when they leave WWE, there's a kind of a honeymoon phase where they still have a strong name brand value, where they do really well in the indies, and that just kind of dies over time. But
yeah,
Cody has probably set the entire platform for how to leave WWE and be successful everywhere else, whether you like him or not. I think that's just reality.
And he's shown that you don't need them, and Punk would have done it had he left, because he created such a buzz for himself before he departed, and then ended up signing for 3 more years. If he would have left after doing all of that, I mean, talk about the buzz he would have created wherever he stepped foot in.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. Again, this is nothing personal. This is me giving an honest assessment of these wrestlers. It's not personal. I don't personally know them. I don't personally dislike them. They seem to be nice people. I don't know them. This is an honest assessment. So don't get your panties in a bunch if you don't agree, or if I'm being honest about something. It's okay to have honest conversation about things and not be oversensitive about it. It doesn't mean that I don't want someone to succeed, because I say, look, it's a guy, he's fat, it hasn't changed, he's going back to developmental. I don't know how this becomes a success now when the same elements are still there. Mm-hmm. So that's my point. And more we can have honest conversations as a wrestling community, the better off we are.
And I certainly agree, and hopefully that fans will begin to realize that now. So Monday Night Raw, in a nutshell, I've listened to podcasts say it was amazing, and quote, Raw has been great recently. And I've heard some other podcasts and fans alike say Raw's been garbage. Now, I have 3 takes from Raw, and that's it. Take number 1. The New Day are heels, but they're not, so that's confusing. What else? Seth Rollins calling out Triple H and moving on. It kind of pointless. I didn't really understand any of that. It seems like he just likes to say, I want Triple H, and then, like ADHD, move on to something else and forget about what he previously talked about. And lastly, you build up to a whole monumentous occasion with Charlotte and Sasha, but don't have them on the fucking go-home show. But you air a promo that some dork spent 8 hours on. I was just flabbergasted. I wasn't even shocked. I was just flabbergasted that happened.
Yeah, it makes no sense at all. As far as a go home show, I thought it was weak in that regard. It was an all right show, but especially compared to you know recent times, the past couple weeks have been all right. I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't say really good or anything, just all right, just better. Um, but yeah, it makes no sense, like you say, and they've done a weak job of promoting the show. Uh, Kind of a boring show to me, and I just don't understand a lot of their logic. The Triple H and Seth Rollins story makes absolutely no sense. It has no continuity. It basically sounds like they booked the show on short notice, and they had to stick in somewhere the Triple H piece to remind everybody because that's the match they're having at the Rumble or WrestleMania, and so they have to get that in. And so they just made the comment and moved on. So it's just very poor storytelling to me.
Agreed.
And frankly, it's a very boring match for me. I have no desire to see this at all. I find Seth Rollins to be very boring since returning. I have no interest to see Triple H in matches anymore or being a central focus of the show. It's just very boring to me.
Which he will. He's about to be a focal point of the show.
Yes. And he'll be fighting with his wife, who also loves to hog the spotlight. What did
Yeah.
you think about Sami Zayn, him and Mick, their dynamic, and finally being granted the rematch against Braun Strowman?
Okay. I absolutely adored it up until he said, "I'm going to give you 10 minutes." Then I'm like, okay. So, beef stroganoff. Wow. But Braun Strowman is literally just going to toss him around for 10 minutes and then that'll be it. I think it's going to be a wasted opportunity to make a real star out of Sami Zayn, which clearly, like, see, if they could cash in on the build that they've made on him, okay, there's your co-main event for WrestleMania if you really wanted to do like the underdog story again, but it's not going to happen because they're going to fuck it up along the line somewhere. Like this, Strowman's going to walk in there, beat him up, but not pin him, and the 10-minute timer will ding, and his eggs will be ready, and he'll leave. That'll be it.
Yeah, I just thought this was, it's like I'm glad they did the kind of hook, so to speak, with throughout the show what was going to happen. That was good. Foley needs some dentures that fit his mouth properly. But I just thought the segment was fine. I just hated the stipulation. It's like Sammy is such a weak guy that he's going to get the opportunity and he's got to be ready, but he only has to last 10 minutes, not win the match, which should be the goal.
Yeah.
Of you should want to pin your opponent or submit him or whatever, and this is just very watered down. It kind of actually makes him look worse. And then the comment totally burying Eva Marie. I mean, mixed line there, basically burying Eva Marie big time. And I just thought that was really stupid as well.
Well, that was a Vince McMahon.
So
you know that.
Yeah, I just found it incredibly stupid that it's not beneficial to do that, and so this match it'll be what it is. I'm very bored, but Braun Strowman doesn't do much for me, and I think they've been presenting him better lately, but I'm just not a big fan. And if he ends up wrestling against Roman Reigns, as is rumored right now, and of course that could change 100 times, but that's a match I will fast forward. I will not watch. I do not want to see that match. I am tired of having these guys I don't like shoved down my throat in the main event picture. Braun Strowman is terrible. He's not very good in the ring. He seems so green still. So that's my take.
Where is this Roman Reigns Braun Strowman rumor going around?
I think that's something that's being floated. If I'm not mistaken, that they're looking at that possibility. So again, who really knows?
For what?
Because Dave is wrong all the time. Let's just be honest. And then he's right a lot too. So who knows? But yeah, that's just not a match I want to see.
But like for the title?
Yeah, that would be the plan. Yes.
U.S. title or
no.
WWE title?
The Universal Championship.
Oh, really?
I hope that's not the case. Who knows? Yeah. Yeah, it'll be hot garbage. It'll be, just like all of his other matches, like his match against Triple H for the title that nobody wanted to see. Or they just don't get it with this guy. They just keep going back to the well with the same shit with him, and it never works, and they just keep doing it. And it's just so goddamn annoying.
What else happened on Raw?
We had the New Day break Demolition's record.
Yep. Yeah.
And I hate, and I'm going to tell everybody listening that Demolition is better than the New Day. Okay? So just let that one sink in. I don't care if they're champion for 5,000 fucking days. So, yes.
But
the New Day have won the titles. And they got cutesy. And they had Stephanie get pissed off after they won their first match. And then they had another match.
With 2 random tag teams.
And Monday was not even the day that the record would be broken. It would actually be a couple of days later.
Yeah.
So they weren't even accurate in their storytelling to begin with, which is no surprise. They're lazy.
It's all about the story.
Yeah. Yeah. What can we write in 30 minutes? Yeah. So the New Day is the new record holders.
All right.
They're coming out with a book of booty and some other things.
I wonder how many people are going to read that and buy that.
I think they'll have a lot of leftover copies.
About as many as Stephanie McMahon's book.
Well, they've been, look, I was a huge New Day fan for a while.
Quite
a while. And it's, again, when I say this, it's not fucking personal, you dumb marks. Okay? It's the characters, the presentation, a lot of which they have no control over. So understand that I'm not actually knocking the guy who portrays Kofi Kingston, the guy who portrays Xavier Woods and Big E.
Because we hate them. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I personally, but while this joke's going to be much worth it, I hate Austin Watson, a.k.a. Xavier Woods. I hate his guts. I think he's a sack of shit. I really want to kill Kofi Nahaje Sarkodie Mensah, but a piece of shit he is. And personally, Ettore Iwen, which is Big E, is a piece of garbage. He needs to fall in a hole and die. We hate them all.
Oh.
Just saying. I'm just saying. That's what all of you sound like right now. all, and I say all of you as the ones that are fighting with Brad, saying New Day suck and taking it personally. Listen, cool your jets.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't really care what, these are the same people who look like Kevin Owens, or they
think CM Punk's coming back.
Yeah. Yeah. Or they have these creepy impersonation accounts of the wrestlers, or whatever. Like the in the wind to me.
But hey, did you hear CM Punk's coming back? What?
Yeah, to lose another UFC.
No, to the WWE.
Yeah.
He said it on Twitter. Yes, he did. Everything on Twitter is true, Brad.
Yes.
So listen. So John Cena is coming back on SmackDown on the 27th of January or December. Merry Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So CM Punk's going to come back to face him. He's going to ruin his homecoming to Chicago.
Good.
Yeah.
That's how Vince does it.
Because at The Gift of Bo on Twitter, he tweeted at CM Punk, and he said, "You returning on SmackDown in Chicago to ruin Cena's return, right? ? No apostrophe on the possessive noun." CM Punk said, "Yes, of course. It's a huge secret, though. So kayfabe."
uh,
Duh.
Hilarious. I mean, if they can't figure it out by now, and that's part of the problem is now wrestling is the audience, a lot of them are a bunch of fucking morons, and it's not mainstream. There's not, the normal people you'd see every day aren't there as much anymore. It's a lot of, I won't get on that tangent. So SmackDown, you got Miz TV, and Miz, I just kept thinking, man, he is just so goddamn good right now. Good, and deserves to be a main event heel in the WWE Championship picture. They've changed the naming convention of the title again. I don't know why. It's no longer the WWE World Championship. It's WWE Championship.
Which is what it should have been the whole time.
Yeah, who the fuck knows? So there was the Fatal 4-Way. It was kind of nice to see Luke Harper named in that, a fresh face. They had the number one contenders battle royal to determine who would be the new number one contenders to the Wyatt family's titles. And can you guess who won?
I already know. It's the Hype Bros.
Yeah. They won, but well.
Why?
Here's the logic I have is look, they need a face team to face the Wyatts because they think the Wyatts are heels even though they're not. So who are they going to pick? Someone that's all right, but that's going to lose, frankly. They're not going to win. So they went with the Hype Bros for that reason, knowing they weren't going to win, and they're probably saving a team like American Alpha when they're a little more heated up and can win.
Okay.
But of course, Zack Ryder got injured, so it really doesn't matter. He may not even be able to compete. He's got the MRI, and who knows? So that could be out. Don't know yet. Don't know. So, but it didn't sound like it was great news. So who knows?
Here's hoping that he doesn't come back.
Yeah.
Sorry,
a lot of heat for this podcast.
Who cares? I don't want him to come back. I hate Zack Ryder. I think he's annoying and obnoxious.
Alexa Bliss. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's your opinion. We all have the right to our opinion, whether others like it or not.
Is that true?
It's true. Yes, it is. That's what adults do. They speak and give opinions, and other adults are okay with other people's opinions.
How was Gabriel Iglesias?
Handle it.
Or fucking the fat guy? How was the fat guy? Fluffy guy? How was he on SmackDown?
For a guest host, he was all right.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't into it at all. It's like this thing, but it was all right for what it was. It was quick and job in the segment with them, and so it was fine. And Apollo Crews was backstage with him, so there was an Apollo Crews sighting.
Yeah.
But of course, he was completely cucked by the Miz, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh well, so, I'm not mad about
it. We had an Alexa Bliss promo.
Love it.
And man, she's still got to continue to work on her in-ring work, but I'll tell you what, mean girl, heel, superstar. She's a superstar, and even just the strut to the ring with the title, the facial expressions, the body language, and then the promo was really good. I mean, especially for someone with her, it was really good, and maybe the best woman talker in the entire company.
Well, someone should tell Sasha Banks so she can take notes. Oh, the marks are going to get pissed.
Yeah, so they had the Fatal 4-Way match to determine who would get a title shot in a couple of weeks at AJ Styles. As noted, James Ellsworth was sick, as they said. He was sick, so he couldn't get his match. Of course, really, AJ's ankles hurt, so they couldn't wrestle.
Good audible.
Yeah, that's what happens. You do all the
Yeah.
flips and dives and dips, and you get hurt more. So, um, so they had that, and it was nice to see Luke Harper in it. He didn't win, and the Miz was in it. He was actually eliminated first, and then it came down to Dolph Ziggler and Dean Ambrose, and the Miz interfered, and Dolph Ziggler won. So Dolph Ziggler is the number one contender again.
And he'll lose again.
A few months after SummerSlam. Yeah, and he'll lose again in a couple of weeks. Absolutely. He's not winning the world title, folks.
No.
And it looks like, that also progresses the Dean and Miz Intercontinental Championship storyline as well. So that was the logic there.
Why? Hey, you know what, though? You want to know what SmackDown does and Raw doesn't? When they have a big match at a pay-per-view, they have them on the go-home. Yeah,
that would make sense. Baron Corbin did not wrestle.
Okay.
But he did have a cool sort of vignette.
What did Becky do?
She came out confronting Alexa Bliss, and she wanted her.
Good.
She wanted her rematch. And
I love it.
And basically, she got it, and she didn't. So it doesn't matter. I think Alexa Bliss walked out, intentionally got herself counted out. So,
bitch.
Is the feud's continuing there, probably. So
good. Well, not only that, though, if it takes away Becky cuddling with her boyfriend, I don't care what she does. Anything but that. Anyone but you. Whatever his face is. Anyone but you. So,
I just want to see Eva Marie come back and, pin Charlotte. Clean in the middle of the ring. Or Sasha. Or all of them. Beat the whole Raw roster at once.
Would it be like a one on 7? Are there 7 women on Raw? I think there's 4.
Well, the show focuses only around 2, but yes, I think there's probably like 7. And she would just squash them all. It would be 1 on 7, strong style, just like Roman Reigns, going through all of them like hot butter.
Oh, I would love that. People would go crazy.
See, this is why I should be booking Raw. This is why I should have the job of the guy who just got fired. Eva Marie, picture her. She's got them all lined up, and she comes just kind of like jogging across the ring and does her little half back bump onto them, and then just kind of pins them with a finger on their chest.
You got to do the Kevin Nash Hulk Hogan. It's the finger poke of doom. You can get creative with it, though. It can be
absolutely
like the butt hump of doom, or like the slap. She could slap them.
She could slap them. She could, absolutely slap them with her mammaries, even.
Ugh.
Yes, holding their head there and then making a gyrating back and forth upper body motion for the knockout.
Yeah, or on top of
There's
it
a lot
all,
of things you could do.
She could pin them upside down, like what's her tits, Ariana, or what's her name, the black girl. She was one of the dancers for Brodus Clay.
Cameron, who's still learning how to pin an opponent.
Yeah, she can pin them like Cameron.
Yeah. I remember. Oh, God. Bad memory.
Comes the most stylish, elegant, bewitching, eternally beguiling, continuously charismatic, and fantastically fascinating woman to appear in...
I love it.
Speaking of announcers giving you a pre-recorded track to come to the ring, is Kurt Hawkins still a thing?
Oh, geez. As much as Kurt Hawkins is as relevant as Emelina.
Yeah, coming soon. Emelina, just not very soon, if at all.
It's so pathetic. I hate it.
Zach can tell you when she's coming.
Well, maybe not with a broken foot.
Oh boy. Okay. So yeah,
Yeah,
that was the SmackDown, and
we
so
have
we've got
the list.
yeah.
You forgot we had a list already, Dean.
No,
It took Dean
we
three.
don't have a list.
We have
We
the Dean's
have the
list.
Dean's list.
It took him 35 hours to put this together.
I believe it.
Literally 35 hours. You ask him why, he'll lie to you because that's what heels do. But this is a special list from Dean, just like Christmas. But it's not like Christmas at all. That was a really bad segue. Okay, here we go.
Don't you dare be sour. Clap for your award-winning list and feel the power. Gentlemen, Brad Shepard, John Fisher, it's time for the list. At this time of year, when we're celebrating the holidays, it seems to me there are two kinds of lists. There's the naughty list, and there's the nice list. This week, one time only, we're going to embrace the power of positivity
Hmm.
and have the nice list. The things that were done well are going to make the list this week. No, it's not a short list. It was a good week. I think sometimes we are too negative on Raw and SmackDown. We are jaded. We are now prone to finding the bad and the nitpicking instead of just allowing ourselves to be entertained. Maybe I had my bowl of Bootios. They make sure you ain't booty. So,
Oh my God.
let's start with the new day. New Day rocks.
No.
New Day rocks.
Or stale.
New Day has gone stale, yes.
Ah.
But I wanted to see them break the record. I would hate to see them come this far and fall short of breaking the record. I was a little
Not
bit
me.
scared during that first match that might happen. I mean, Cesaro and Sheamus put on a show. The club is kind of back to its form. But the New Day won. And I was like, okay, great. Didn't realize they'd be put in a match later, at which time I thought it was sure they were going to lose to Owens and Jericho, actually. But they won again. WWE did the right thing. Let them have the record. Establish the new talents. Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn and the Mick Foley thing, I thought he was going to SmackDown. I bought it. I wasn't sure Ava Marie was really the thing. But the way they played it, if you don't believe in me, I want to be traded, and the trade is happening and everything. There's a Mick Foley mind game ploy to get Sami Zayn in the right frame of mind was perfect. Jack Gallagher. Oh my God.
Scoundrel.
That was great. That made the list. He comes out as a gentleman, announces his intention to interfere. How could you not love that? And he got Scoundrel over. Scoundrel. He got it over. It's the first great thing they've done with the cruiserweights. Congratulations, WWE. That made the nice list. Emelina, you made the nice list. You didn't appear, but you put out a pretty cool tweet at 10 after 10 p.m. And it says, all you cared about were the 4 horsewomen. Now I finally have your attention and I'm supposed to fall at your feet? Yeah, right. I hope Emelina brings a refreshing breath of fresh air to Raw in the way that Alexa Bliss has brought it to SmackDown. And Alexa Bliss, you made the nice list.
Ooh.
Not just because you're hot, but you're playing the perfect bitch/chicken shit heel. She's doing what a heel does.
What's that?
That's good stuff. Even in the talking smack. Well, didn't you see the trainer? Well, no, I was looking for ice. Perfect. And then saying, well, don't question my integrity. Are you questioning my integrity? Perfect play.
Roman Reigns is a nice
The
deal.
Miz and AJ Styles. You made the nice list. From The Miz with the soccer mom hair comments to the continued, very good continuity, the M, the WWE logo turned upside down. And actually, did you notice AJ Styles accidentally held his title up upside down at first and then switched it around? But the interaction between those two makes you actually want to see those two go at it. And then, finally, the Cruiserweights. 205, I caught a little bit of it before talking smack. The way Rich Swann and TJ Perkins are interacting now. TJ Perkins being more than just the white meat babyface. And then, so then you throw that in with Swann and with Kendrick, who's done some great work. And you've got Gallagher providing some interest. They finally might be building up momentum to being something entertaining. And that is the nice list. Don't be sour.
Was he drunk when he did this? Come on.
I don't think so. He sent it to me around, what time was it? No, now I'm curious. I don't think so. He sent that to me.
That was his best work yet. I will say that.
Easy. December 14th. Not the time he put over Baron Corbin.
Well, that was my favorite moment, obviously.
Well, sure.
Yeah. Okay, so no, he's got a lot of great points. I think Cruiserweight, since we didn't really talk about that, TJ Perkins, I like him in more of a cocky tweener heel type role. What he seemed to be doing, projecting more confidence, I really like that. I've mentioned, Gallagher, I think he's a standout. He's something different. I like what they're doing with him. And, of course, I think Rich Swann has charisma. So, for the smaller guys, the Cruiserweights, I think those three guys are the ones that, tend to stand out for me. So, all good stuff there. What about you? Anyone stand out?
As far as the Cruiserweights, Gallagher by far. He's interesting.
Yeah, he is interesting. And I did think that line was great.
It really was. It's my intention to interrupt in the match.
Well, we've got pay-per-view coming up, Roadblock, end of the line, and hopefully it will be the end of the line for some of these matches, and we won't have to see them again because I'm not interested in seeing them again. So, with that being said, let's run down the card, and now we can just kind of take our picks of who we think. We've got the kickoff show match. Ugh. Big Cass versus Rusev.
I'm missing that. I'm not going to be there in time, so I don't care.
I mean, this is kind of I'm going to take Big Cass.
I'll take Rusev.
I just feel like they've got this hard on for Big Cass, and this is kind of like a way to kind of get all the heat on Big Cass. He comes in, and he's going to save the day for his buddy Enzo and beat Rusev. And he's going to be the hero because that's what Vince wants. So, Sami Zayn versus Braun Strowman. He's got 10 minutes to survive.
Nope, no contest. It's not going to end. It'll just be a time limit. That's it.
Yeah, I think he's going to last the 10 minutes one way or another, even if Braun intentionally just beats him for 10 minutes and lets him last. He's going to last the 10 minutes, I think. Otherwise, this stipulation's even more dumb than it already is. So, Cruiserweight Championship match, Rich Swann versus TJ Perkins versus the Brian Kendrick in a triple threat.
Swann, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Rich Swann is going to retain. Yeah, I'm going to take Swann. They've been doing the classic booking there. Perkins lost to Kendrick, then Perkins beat Rich Swann, and now I think Rich Swann is going to beat one of them. So, yep. Tag Team Championship, The New Day versus Cesaro and Sheamus.
Cesaro, Sheamus.
Yeah, I think this is where they make the title change. And
yep.
I think it's stupid, but I think that's what they're going to do. So, yeah, we have a very exciting new tag team here, Cesaro and Sheamus. And, it's weird to me because this is where you could have a really big moment and put a new team over, strong. because the New Day have broken the record now, and then you're going to turn around and just give it to two singles guys they put together for a few months.
Yeah, and then
Just
they'll only
not
and
really,
then, yeah, they'll hold it for a month or
a few
two.
months. Yeah, and then drop them to someone else. Yeah.
Yep.
So just not very smart long-term planning, but
No.
this is Orange Sheamus. Chris Jericho versus Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
I'm going to take Seth Rollins as well. And maybe Kevin Owens cost Jericho the match. I don't know. But, that's what I'm going to take, Seth Rollins. I just think Jericho is going to be on his way out soon. I think maybe WrestleMania is his last little bit before he's got a very busy 2017. So I think he's going to have some time away from the company. So Rollins it is. Then we've got the Iron Woman match or man match, whatever you want to call it, for the Women's Championship. And it's not a match I want to see. Some people do. I'm going to fast forward this. I'm going to be very bored by it. I'm not going to watch it. Sasha Banks versus Charlotte.
Charlotte. She's going to win again.
Yeah, I think they're going to just do the hot potato again. Charlotte's got a pay-per-view winning streak, and I don't think they're going to break it. I think Charlotte's going to win again.
Yep.
And that'll just be one more title change. Well, like the 6? In the past few months.
Not 6. I'd say 3.
5 title changes since like April.
Oh, well, Nikki to Charlotte. No. Because Charlotte lost it to Sasha. It went Charlotte, Sasha. Charlotte, Sasha. Charlotte.
Yeah, Sasha's already a 2 or 3 time women's champion.
That's right. It's 5 times. Yep.
Yes, it's 5 times. Jesus Christ, what a fucking disaster.
Well, no, it's 5 times since July, not April.
Yeah, it is. What a disaster. Holy shit. I mean, what can you really say? I mean, there's people who are just totally marking out over this. And, this is not what sells in wrestling. I hate to tell you. And but you know what? Guys. It doesn't. And you may not want to hear that, but that's tough shit. So we've got the main event, the Universal Championship, a very boring main event, I would add. I mean, this is like a throwaway match I would watch on Raw. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I'm going to take Roman Reigns.
Really?
Win, but I think they're going to be tempted to have Reigns win both belts. Yes.
That would be a disaster.
Well, naturally it would be, but they double down on stupid all the time. So we can never rule that out.
Oh, wow.
They are convinced. They want to push him strong style. They're not going to stop. He's going to be in the main event picture on Raw going into WrestleMania. So I'm going to take him. Maybe he loses and he's got a rematch at the Royal Rumble or something, but he's going to win the title very soon. It doesn't really matter. And Kevin Owens is going back to the mid card. Maybe he should go back to the gym instead.
Well, what about when Finn Balor comes back? The rumor is Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens for the Universal title at WrestleMania, which I think is total horseshit because they would never allow those 3 guys to wrestle for the title at Mania. But that's just me.
Yeah. Finn Balor should be in the Cruiserweight division. That's my opinion. You don't have to look. Nobody has to like my opinion. My opinion is my opinion. It is mine. And if you don't like it, suck a dick. You have your opinion. I have my opinion. But at the end of the day, he's 190 pounds soaking wet. I mean, that's maybe carrying a brick in his pocket. And he's under 6 foot tall, and he's just not a big guy. Now, he's a good wrestler. That's fine. But he belongs in the Cruiserweight division because he's a Cruiserweight.
Oh, dear. I'm tweeting that quote right now. That's incredible. I won't say it's you that said it. I'm just going to put it on Twitter.
I don't care. Tell him I said it. Stamp it, sign it, seal it, deliver it.
Because people are... best quote I've ever heard. Love it.
And we had one more thing with the New Day that created the great triggering of wrestling Twitter today as we record this. Took a picture with their championship belts with Rich Swann and Sasha Banks
Mhm.
and tweeted a picture with the hashtag Black Excellence.
Yeah, what did you think of that one?
So, yeah, I just don't see why the race is relevant. Dan,
It's
the
not.
struggles of some of the minority wrestlers in the business. I totally understand that. But that shouldn't be the first thing in your mind when you get put into this prominent position. Your first thought is go to the race well. I mean, that's very telling in my opinion. I just don't understand it. I don't think it was necessary. Why can't it just be about like 5 great champions, 5 great people getting an opportunity for the first time or whatever the case is? It's just, I mean, it's fine. It is what it is. But when you put that out there, you're going to be open to critique. So all I did was throw out a thought-provoking question. What's worse, the picture of them that says Black Excellence, or the fact that they think they're excellent because they were scripted to win a prop?
Oh no, wrestling fans are gonna be pissed off.
Well, naturally, they were all. I mean, it was just neckbeards coming out of the woodwork to attack me on Twitter, one after another. I mean, my notifications were 20 at a time.
Were they really that
Over
much?
and over and over. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it had over, the last I saw, it was over 900 engagements on that one single tweet. I
You're
mean, it was a
kidding.
lot. No, I'm not kidding.
Which tweet was it now? The New Day one?
It was my New Day one, yeah. And for all these people who interacted with me on Twitter and who are now listening to this, because I have worked you jabroni marks into a shoot, I have a little special surprise for you. This is for you. And in case you're not clear, this is a baby crying. You are a baby because you cannot handle an alternative opinion or a thought-provoking question on Twitter. You are not emotionally intelligent enough to have an adult conversation or discuss something that may offend your delicate sensibilities. This is for you. You're going to suck at adult life if you're not able to have social interactions and opine with people of differing opinions or thought-provoking questions. You know, my whole goal was to get more eyes on our Twitter account and to create a thought-provoking discussion amongst people, because it did turn into something that a lot of people started talking about on both sides, those who really liked it and those who thought it was terrible.
Wait. I love this one. How did the ever-loving fuck do you call yourself a wrestling podcast if you don't understand wrestling? Oh my god.
Oh, it was terrible. It was I was just, it was totally out of control. The comments were out of control. Someone, there's a lot of name calling and threats and things. And I had one person said that I needed to be excommunicated from the wrestling community. You pretty much name it. It was a lot of wackos coming out of the woodworks with these creepy profiles and neckbeards. These, guys with tits bigger than women, and like, what the fuck? It was kind of like, it was the dark underbelly in Twitter. That's what
But
it
hey,
was.
the Diva Bible WWE liked it.
Yeah, a couple people did. Not many.
That's incredible. What do they think wrestling is real? Listen, I love pro wrestling until the day I'm dead. I will never not love it, but for fuck's sake.
But it was a thought-provoking question. That's it. Yeah, and if someone had said, look, they are, yes, a prop. The title's a prop, but they were put into this more prominent position compared to their coworkers, and that's a sign of success, then I would have said, yes, you're right. That is absolutely correct. So the question was worded discussion, right? Intentionally. I just don't get it. It's like, think about this, John. If there were 5 white guys with titles, and I know there's been plenty of white guys with titles, okay? I'm not saying that. But if there was 5 white guys with titles and the picture said hashtag white excellence, would this be a positive message, or would the wrestling Twitter community have a complete meltdown?
Meltdown.
Your opinion? Yeah. You know, I got called white supremacist, a racist, all kinds of ridiculous shit. These people don't even know that I'm white or black. They don't even know me. They don't know. I have a lot of relationships with minorities. They're my friends. Some of them are my family. So it's ridiculous for them to even think this to begin with, but they don't know that. So they just throw out these, social justice warrior, these labels when they're outraged and offended. And they think that their opinion of me, well, wrong. Your opinion means nothing. It doesn't define who I am. You are weak.
all of a sudden, Brad is all of a sudden he's turning into a fucking, what do you call it? A professional speaker, but you know what I'm talking about. I
do. I just don't. I don't understand it. It was a total pile on. I'm a terrible person. That was a terrible tweet. How dare I bring up something for discussion that wasn't the acceptable answer by the rules of society? It was, even talk about this as not being a great thing. And their success is a great thing, no matter what their race is. And it's also a great thing, by the way, that they're black and that they're doing well in WWE. I'm not saying that's not great. But what was the point of that? What was the point of that? When you put that out there, you're going to create a response. Why couldn't they just say excellence? Else. So I posed the question, and I worked a bunch of people into a shoot. We got a lot of eyes in our podcast. And by the way, this is going to be the most listened to podcast in our history, because the haters are the most dedicated fans you'll have.
Yep. I can't disagree with that logic one bit. Not one bit. Well, we're nearing the end of time, if you will. Forever and all, amen. Roadblock is a Sunday. There's not much news to go around. Cena's coming back. Punk's coming back. The Iron Sheik's coming back. Everybody's coming back. Has to happen.
Yeah. It has to happen. Hashtag has to happen.
Yeah.
So this brings us to our big announcement that we have mentioned we would discuss. I've mentioned it on our podcast Twitter account. And I know you're all waiting with deeply bated breath, so I will cut right to the chase.
Well, it's basically Brad's announcement, not mine.
That, unfortunately, we are going to be taking some time off. Consider this our season finale. And, it's not the end, but it is goodbye for now. We will be done podcasting for the immediate foreseeable future, and hopefully we'll return early-ish 2017. We'll see how things go, but basically, I've got a lot of personal things going on, a lot of great life changes coming, and I don't have the time to do this anymore at this moment. And that's really what it came down to, and I never want to shortchange you guys. We enjoy doing this. And if I can't do it properly, then I don't want to do it at all. And so for that reason, we won't be doing this for the foreseeable future. The Twitter account will remain. We'll still continue to talk about wrestling. And frankly, I may be pursuing some other writing ventures outside of wrestling that I'm really passionate about. I'm strongly considering it. And, I think we'll see what happens. I think it'll make a lot of people angry. Some people it will make happy. That's writing. But we'll see. I am strongly considering some political writing.
Ooh.
I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to do it because I don't know what time I'll have. But I've done everything I wanted to with wrestling. And, I've written for different sites. I've done reviews and opinion articles. And now I'm doing a great podcast. So I've done everything I want to do. I never wanted to take bumps and do wrestling. That was not for me. Not that I can't do it. It's just not my path. So what's to come? Who knows? But this is the big announcement. So you've heard it here first. Don't be shy. We'll still be on Twitter, obviously. But this is the last podcast for. So there you have it, folks.
And you thought that was going to be bad backlash, what you said the other day about Black Excellence. Yikes, what's going to happen to you?
Which also means, I guess, this is our Christmas edition of the podcast.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy holidays. Happy December.
Yes. It's funny because at Apple, I'm supposed to be impartial to holidays, but I still say Merry Christmas to every customer I see or work with, rather. It's not a good fuck.
Yeah, and now that we've got some eyes on the podcast, and we've kind of given them a hook. You know what the podcast is about if you're listening, and when we return, it'll be more of the same great stuff. So consider this the season finale, but it is indeed the finale. It's been a great year, 2016. I think, John, when we look back at it, it's been incredible that we're now going to be 65 episodes in.
Yeah, nuts.
And it's nuts. We've accomplished a lot. We've talked a lot of good wrestling, and I can honestly say we're a really good podcast. I really do feel that way. We really kind of came into our own, I think, as a podcast, and I think it's worked really well. So we want to just basically thank you guys for listening, for supporting us, for interacting with us on Twitter. And hopefully, this is not goodbye. Yeah,
and you kind of said literally everything I wanted to, so I won't take up too much. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, there was a lot to learn, a lot to say, a lot to interact with, and a lot to discuss. And I think that, over time we were able to really interact and engage with a ton of people. And wrestling is supposed to have, be fun. Talking wrestling is what we were meant to do. And we did it. So kudos to us. Kudos to everybody that listened. Over thousands of downloads in the episodes that we've done. And those aren't even including the ones that we did for just YouTube. We were only YouTube for a little bit. So before we figured out Podbean and everything else. So, thank you all very, very much for the endless support and adulation that you were able to give to us. I'll still be around. I'm writing for a new website now. Still with wrestling, Sports Kita. I'm back with them after a long hiatus. So you can find more articles there. Still with the Inquisitor. I'm going to be doing more video game writing. So keep a tune up, and we'll see you around the bend, as it were. But I'm sure after things have slowed down, I'll be a lot more free next year. And if Brad can reciprocate, then I'm sure we'll be able to record once again. But it's kind of a wait and see kind of thing at the moment, because life gets in the way. It happens, and you must adapt. like humans are supposed to do.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I know. That's why I said it myself. But all right, where can we find you on Twitter?
Or you can find me at the VOTV podcast. And, we'll have a great wrestling conversation. If you don't like hot takes and honest opinions, then you should block me immediately. If you have delicate sensibilities, if you are a social justice warrior, you should block me immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. Because I'm not getting any more politically correct with my tweets. I'm not going to cater to you. I'm not going to try to make you feel good. I'm going to have an honest conversation and opinion. But if you do like it, I'd be glad to talk to you about wrestling. And for the trolls, I will just block you because you are irrelevant.
And for myself, you can follow me at John Fish Gaming on Twitter. John Fisher. Wait, hold on. I've gotten this right for like 3 months straight. John Fish Gaming on Twitter, John Fish 3 at Twitch.tv, and Wrestling News Hub on Facebook. And you can also follow Dean. I am Petro for random tweets and analysis. I'm going to make sure I get his proper Twitter handle up there. I am Dean16. You can follow Dean on Twitter. I am Dean16. Or if you're in the Pittsburgh area, just watch WPXI Sports. He's the king behind the sports department. So you can do that too. But yes, yeah, you know where I'm at. You know where Dean's at. And I know Dean loved doing his list. And I haven't told him yet. So he's going to find out when he listens. Surprise. So that will be that. But is there anything you want to say before we ride off into the sunset? For the last time of 2016.
I'm just really thankful to everyone who's been a dedicated listener from the beginning, or even if you've picked us up recently. That's why we do it, and I'm so thankful for that. And I don't think I'm better than anybody else. I'm just a guy talking wrestling, about something that I love and have strong opinions about. And I'm just thankful to be able to do it, and I'm thankful for everybody who supports us and listens to us from the bottom of my heart. So thank you guys. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas, a happy holiday, a happy December, Kwanzaa, all the holidays in there, Hanukkah. I want to get you all. I hope you guys have a great 2016 and going into the new year, have great success as well. And hopefully we'll see you around.
And all I have to say is Merry Christmas and any other holiday you believe in. Thank you all for listening over the last 65 episodes. And above all else, roses are red, violets are blue, Dake's off for Harambe, and yours should be too.